What's happening? And welcome back. Today, how to think to be successful. And I'm going to ask you a question. And here's what it is. Have you ever had like a feeling, just a calling, or really what I'm thinking about is, have you ever had a desire that you wanted something? Have you ever had a desire that you wanted to do something? Have you ever had the desire to want to be somebody or something? Today on this podcast, but we're going to talk about how to think so that you can be successful. And today I'm going to share with you what God has been kind of like imparting in me for the past 7 years. So hopefully not hopefully, you will get value from this today. And I appreciate you for being here. So let's jump right in. I was thinking yesterday, or let me start here. Have you ever gone to church? Have you ever gone to church, heard a really good sermon? Yeah, you probably have, because I've heard a lot of sermons. And then during the week, you can't remember what the sermon was about. Has it ever happened to you? All right. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not throwing shade on anybody. I just know that I've heard good sermons and then couldn't really remember what I heard. So if I want to remember things, or if I want to get something out of things, is it something that I need to do, or is it something that the deliverer needs to do? It depends. It could be both. So how to think to be successful puts us in a position where we're always thinking on a different level. Probably didn't get that yet. Thinking on a different level. And when I say thinking on a different level, hey, I remember playing basketball. Anybody play basketball? Anybody play sports or anything? I used to play basketball, and I remember, watch basketball, but I'm just thinking about, you know, getting on the court. Like, before you get on the court and before you know how to do it, you don't. So how does one know how to do it, or how does one figure it out? How does one learn how to be successful playing basketball? Well, the first thing you have to do is say that I'm a basketball player. I am a basketball player. So that seems pretty obvious, right? Well, but it's not always obvious, because we don't always actually start saying that we are who that person is. All right, let me break it down like this. So what if you haven't got good at playing basketball, but you're talking about you're a basketball player? What if you haven't got good at something, but you're talking about being that person already? What do you say? Well, it's because in my mind, I'm going to be that. So that means that if in my mind I'm going to be that, then I'm not going to waste any time not acting like that I'm that person. See, being successful at anything is first deciding that there's a desire that I have. There's a desire that I have, and I'm gonna take this desire and I'm gonna use that desire. See, the desire is kind of like creating a picture of something. Have you ever thought about creating a picture? So we got a picture of something that's, something that I can see, something like that. If I'm looking at Michael Jordan, that's a picture of basketball, where we constantly looked at Michael Jordan when I was playing basketball all the time. I always looked at his games. I'm always looking at, I'm looking at footage, old games. We watch games over and over. And see, in some cases, oh, it's entertainment. Well, in most cases, we were watching because we wanted to be basketball players. Oh, I knew I wasn't going to be Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant is the embodiment of someone who took Michael Jordan tapes, who watched Michael Jordan, who studied Michael Jordan, and he became a version of Jordan. But Kobe Bryant's version, because there was things about Kobe that was probably better than Michael Jordan. Not because he was better, or not because Michael was better. It's because we're all different. So we got to actually get a picture, right? With that desire, we need a good picture of what it looks like to be that person. So yesterday on the podcast, we talked about your success is inevitable. And if you don't remember what it's going from, if I'm going to be successful, to when I'm going to be successful, right? When I'm going to be successful. So we're actually moving along the pendulum here, because it's if I'm going to be successful, and then when I'm going to be successful, And then what am I going to be successful doing? I'm going to be a basketball player. I'm a basketball player. So if I'm a basketball player, I have this desire. LeBron James had a desire. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, these guys, they had desire. Anybody you see in the NBA had a desire. You see the guys and the gals playing in the NCAA finals. They had a desire. They wanted to play basketball. And they start thinking like a basketball player. Okay, I'm sitting in my house. It's summertime. And hey, we're not working. How would a basketball player think? A basketball player would be working out. A basketball player would be getting up shots. A basketball player would be doing drills. A basketball player would be getting stronger. A basketball player is going to be doing that multiple times a day. A basketball player is going to be, watching footage. A basketball player is going to be doing all the just keeping himself or herself. I'm just ingrained in what it is that they said they're going to be. See, because when you go from if to when, then I got to go to what? What am I going to be successful doing? See, because really, a lot of times we want to be successful, right? And, I can say, I want to make a lot of money. And, well, okay, you want to make a lot of money, but what do you want to be successful? What do you want to? Money is the result. So what would you like to do in order to get that? I think it was in Think and Grow Rich. Yeah, it was in Think and Grow Rich, the book. Napoleon Hill puts in there, he put some steps, and there were some steps in there on how a person could get what they want. And one of the steps in that process was, what are you willing to give? What do you want to give? What do you want to exchange for that? Oh, you want to get that kind of money? Well, what do you want to exchange? One of the things that I learned from statements like that, and then from watching the successful people, as I'm saying I'm successful, was, I have to accept everything that's on that level. What do I mean? All right. I'm a multi-millionaire. On the way to being 100 millionaire. How does a multi-millionaire, 100 millionaire think? How do they think? Like, because I can't start doing anything until I understand how they think, right? Because thinking is going to be the hardest thing that you're going to do, not doing anything. It's the thinking, because if the thinking is wrong, then the actions will potentially be wrong. And then everything's going to be wrong. And they're going to wonder why it's not working. They're going to wonder, like, I can't believe this isn't working. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been doing this for a year. I've been doing this for a month, and I'm not seeing any results. Why am I not seeing results? Oh, I'm not thinking right. It's nothing like when I get on the phone, I'm talking to people, and I was on the phone recently. I was talking to somebody, and they would just kind of let me know where they were and what they wanted. I was like, oh, that's interesting. See, guys, I work with people that they need help. They need money help, right? And we help them first realize that there's a way that you can save money in taxes. Even if they don't understand how to do it, they don't have to understand it. We know how to do that. So we're going to help them save money on taxes. That's the first one. Let's get clear on that. We're going to help you save money. Then what happens is a whole host of other problems start showing up. Well, Jay, I need help managing my personal finances. And because I'm like kind of all over the place, your personal finances is feeding into the business. And so one of the things that, when I was on this call yesterday, the person needed help with personal finances. And that's not something that we normally start with, but I said, let me talk and just kind of learn something about what this person is dealing with and what they want. Yeah, I need the budget, and I'm just not good with my money. So I introduced something. After I listened, I asked a lot of questions, took all the data, how much money you spending. Like, we went through all the money that they're spending. I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I said, well, let's go at this from a different perspective. See, now what I did was I shifted the person into a different level of thinking. because they were thinking on one level, but I saw that that level was actually a lower level of success. Because if we went and solve, think about this, if you go and solve a low level problem, you get low level results. I'm gonna say it again. If you go solve a low level problem, you get low level results. Let me ask you, would you rather solve a higher level problem and get higher level results? Wouldn't you? See, this is what we're talking about, thinking to be successful. So I took her higher in the call. I said, all right, why don't we consider this? Instead of looking at this from, oh, I need to constrict, I need to get a budget and constrict myself. Let's look at it from a different level. Make a budget on what you want. Budget what you want to spend. Budget how you want to live. And let's see what that looks like. She was looking at me like, that's different. Wow, that's interesting. I was like, yeah. Now she has a different problem. So now we went from, merely, starting cutting out all these things to increasing the capacity of what a person needs. Oh, because now, oh, wow, if I can travel and take care of this and take care of that and take care of this, even though I'm spending more money, I'm actually circulating more money on a budget. But now we have to go at it higher level problem. Can you see the higher level problem that that person has at this point? Is it budgeting now? No, it's not budgeting. It's increase. So then the next question is with Jay, well, how do I grow? Like, how do I increase? Wrong question. Wrong question. Never ask how before you realize or understand how you have to think, the level of thinking you have to go to at this point. How does a person think on that level? How does a person think when they do budgeting this way? You focus on something totally different. What do you focus on? You focus on growing. And so the last thing I told her, I says, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars over the past, probably 8 years, a couple $100,000 on an investment. A lot of people are like, man, you've been investing in the stock market? No, not really, because I've been investing somewhere else. Because even though I need the stock market, even though I need that, I realized that the greatest asset I have is me. So what I learned, and I did not actually come up with this, someone on a different level who was thinking at a much higher level, people like a Grant Cardone, I was thinking it was Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone told me, he says, hey man, if you're not already rich, take all the money that you could invest and invest it back into yourself. All of it. There's no sense, because if you haven't already built it up, then that means you have to get the thinking, you have to get the mind, you have to get something that you cannot lose. You can't afford to lose your money. You can't afford to invest in the stock market. You can't afford to do certain things where you're going to lose, because now you want to take that money, you want to deposit it. Now, I'm not saying a person shouldn't do any type of investing. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying at this point is I'm saying that's where I was. And from that moment on, any extra money, I'll buy me some books. I used to go to the store and buy clothes a lot. I don't hardly do that anymore. I mean, every now and then buy some clothes, whatever, but not on a regular basis. I'm regularly buying a book. I'm regularly, buying programs. I'm regularly spending money to go back in myself. Why? Because I realized that if I can change my thinking, if I can take on the thinking of someone who's already a multi-$100 million billionaire, at some point I'll start modeling their thinking. So how does one think to be successful? The first thing you got to do is you just got to know you have a desire. Because before you start doing anything, I have a desire for something. Create a picture of that, right? You create a picture. And then from there, right? And that could be like in the vision category. You got your vision, you got your picture, and so now you're like, oh, that's great. Oh, I feel so good about this. Now we're gonna move. And then there's this thing called power, the why power. You need why power because there has to be a reason behind everything that you're doing. That could be kind of like related to purpose, right? Purpose and why, like having a why power, knowing that. Like I remember when I did that, and I came up and I did the why, and I did it 7 times, and I'm crying. I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to do this. It wasn't about me, but it was about getting better, right? So you got to have a why. So that power that you get from that will help you to develop a plan. Okay, picture, power, plan. Picture, power, plan. You've got vision, you've got purpose, and you've got mission. All these are all interrelated. Picture, power, plan, vision, purpose, mission. You got your why dead in the center. See, thinking to be successful or being successful on a brand new level in the natural, I would call it easy, but that's because I have a way of making it easy. But I'm going to tell you, it's not necessarily easy. It's just worth it. Why is it worth it? Because at the end of the day, you have a destiny, don't you? Isn't there a destiny laid out for you? See, if we're going to be successful, we've got to think like a person who is already successful. We've got to go up to the level where that is, and we got to take on the ideas. We got to take on the thought process. We got to leave the thought process of anybody who does not represent that. Leave it alone. Say bye-bye to that, and we're going to go and we're going to be somewhere else because there's a destiny calling you. That's where the desire comes in. But we won't even get to the destiny without the power, without the plan. We won't even get there. And we definitely not getting there without the picture. Last thing I'm going to share with you in how to think to be successful is this. Why do people quit along the road? Why do people give up before they get there? Why did the man who was digging for gold, he was digging for gold, the gold was there. Why did he give up 3 feet from gold? What was it? Was it that he didn't feel adequate? Was it that, he had spent all his money? He had put in all this time. He was going through all this stuff. He couldn't see it. He had a little bit, but he couldn't see it. What was it that he was missing? See, when you're going towards your destiny, you got to know that I got to have patience. Got to have patience for it. Because if without patience, I may be looking at the picture. I may have a why, but I'm going to get tired of working the plan. I'm going to get tired of doing the push-ups. Is push-ups going to grow my business? What if I ask that question? Do you know push-ups is growing my business right now? It's growing my business. 500 push-ups every single day has started. It's literally growing the business. See, what God is teaching me is that growth comes with everything. If you're doing something that can grow you, then that means you can grow in other areas. And it's a byproduct from it. So I want you to do something. I revealed a part of a new framework that I've been developing for the past 7 years. I just kind of gave it. It's the picture, it's the power, the why power, it's the plan. Now we didn't get into anything tactical because that's not what this. I'm not here to go tactical. I'm here to give you the high level. So it's the picture, create a picture of something, get your why power, create a plan, have patience. Like those are the 4 P's of thinking to be successful. If you just take that, look at that today. Picture, why power, plan, patience. Look at that today and say to yourself, wow, what level of problem would I like to solve? Do I want to solve the low level budgeting problem? Or I'd like to solve the problem where I have to increase who I am so that I can have what I want. Wouldn't you want that problem versus a low level? That's thinking to be successful. So use this bit of information today. Hopefully you got some value from this program today. My name is Jim, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. Guys, I'm super excited. Today is episode 981, and we're looking forward to episode 1000 coming very soon. Guys, I appreciate you. I love you, and I will see you back on our next episode. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.